All right, welcome back, everyone. It is a new season with this sexy guy. It is Fantasy Football with McLovin. Now, I know that a couple of you have emailed him already
Steve Goldman.
Steve Goldman,
Yep.
to name someone off the top of our heads. But we are going to do a fantasy football show very soon, towards the beginning of the regular season, obviously before then. We're just wanting to remind everyone that there's going to be a new format really to the show. It's going to be every Wednesday like it normally is. But I know a lot of you have commented that they actually do want to call in.
Yeah.
So I'll give you my cell number, or we'll figure it out. Maybe yours.
We'll figure it out. It all depends on how if we're mature enough to have one cell phone number and just use it just primarily for the shows, or we'll figure something out. But
Yeah.
basically, we're really excited about this year. Another year, football time is best time of the year. Okay, we got camp starting. I love it. Love football. You guys know how much I love football. Love the show, and I'm looking forward to another great season, and especially beating everybody in the selections
So
that I did last year.
So why don't you tell for those of the people who haven't actually seen the show yet, or don't even know about it because I
Okay.
stupidly put it in the wrong thing.
That's fine.
Why don't you tell them your background in the NFL?
So
Or background in football, I should say.
sure. In 2004, I was 21 years old. I went out and did a summer internship with the San Francisco 49ers. I was one of 30 guys, and it was a month. It was in for a training camp. I was the one that was selected out of 30 to stay on and do a scouting internship, which, I called my parents and said, look, I'm not coming home, staying in California. But basically, I was involved in pro scouting, college scouting, everything to do with personnel for the first 3 years that I was with the San Francisco 49ers. So we were trained a certain way. I worked for General Manager Scott McLuhan at the time. He's a great guy. Still stay in touch with him. He's in Washington right now. Basically, all I did was watch film for 3 straight years. That's it. Okay. Then I was promoted to the team travel manager in 2005, where I became the youngest travel coordinator in the history of the NFL at the age of 25. Basically, I did all the team travel all around the country. The menus, the meals, everything, basically. I did that for 4 years. Then I worked 2 years at the University of Connecticut, working in their football program, doing recruiting and player personnel stuff. And then I went and worked at the University of Colorado for a short time as well. So basically, I've done evaluations at the pro level. I've done evaluations for the college NFL draft. I've done high school evaluations. So I have an 11-year career working in football. And I know we went over this a little bit last year, but if you're just tuning in for the first time, football is my love. I could talk football all day. What I really bring to the table is a couple different things. I can take any topic and go with it. I try to give the best insights out there. I'd rather have you guys watch a guy like me than to put on ESPN and listen to some broad that doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm going to give you some picks with the spread every week. Take advantage. I think what did I close at? Like a 54%,
Sure, something like that,
56%, which is on the pro level. And I'm going to make picks, and we want everyone to compete from week one. And we'll do, if we have enough people that want to do the picks against the spread or just picks outright, Annie and I will do the picks outright, just like we did with Steve Goldman and
There's a whole bunch of people who did that.
What is it?
CV Gunn.
CV Gunn.
Yeah.
So basically, I have a background in scouting, love football, and I'm looking forward to the season, starting with camp. And basically, I'd love to have a section where you guys could call in. I am a big fantasy football player as well. I'm going to be doing a fantasy football show sometime before the start of the season. And what I'll do is I'll break down every position. I can even talk a little bit about my fantasy team. I'm in a keeper league, Dynasty. So I'm starting to get all my information together. But basically, I love this shit, and I'm looking forward to another year with our host. Andrew Overdon.
So we're going to have, as far as the format, we're also going to have another guest as well.
Okay.
Every week we're going to have a guest so we can banter back and forth. I'll give you guys topics, and we'll see what's going on. And there's going to be production value, I believe, with this show as well. Obviously, we're going to have it's going to look a lot more professional than it has, aside for the yellow background and everything else and the messy table. But we're going to have something pretty cool lined up. Okay, you got garbage bags right in front. The deal is this. Let's go quickly to. So basically, just to give you guys again a quick recap. Fantasy football every Wednesday. We're going to be talking about news and notes in the NFL. We're going to be talking about our picks. We're going to be talking about fantasy. If you guys have fantasy questions, you can call in. We can do a little talk show as well. There are going to be guests on the show to give their insight. And if you have friends or family that love football, have them tune in every Wednesday. It'll be on YouTube. Now, the other thing that we're going to do is, for those who compete, and starting of week 1, we're going to have standings for the picks. And if you end up beating McLovin in any given week, you get gift cards.
And I am McLovin.
Here's McLovin.
We didn't go over that.
Sure, we didn't know.
So
you get gift cards, and you also have a chance to win a major prize at the end as well if you end up beating Pat here at McLovin. All right. So the first thing we're going to go right into is quickly news and notes. Again, the first preseason game is Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's go. 2 days ago, we're going to talk about the police says that running back Mason admitted to hospital in July.
Yeah, I read that.
So police say Rams running back Trey Mason was admitted to a hospital for evaluation after showing erratic behavior towards officers in late July at his mother's home in Lake Charleston, Florida.
Trey Mason, okay, very good, very I haven't read further into this. I have no idea. Maybe he was on something, but maybe it was just a blown out of proportion type thing. You know, a lot of these guys when they're in the spotlight, if the mother just called to talk to the police about something, or it could have been blown out of proportion, or he could have taken it to the other extent, and he could have been whacked out of his skull. We don't know. Basically, the more more trouble you get in with the police, the less effective you will be on Sundays. And I'm sure what's his name, Fisher, is going to have a long talk with him. I'm not a big Fisher fan as a head coach, but basically this guy was in, went to Auburn. A tree could get into the University of Auburn, so let's not say he's any Rhodes Scholar or anything like that. But he can run the football. He's more of a smaller back, so he's more of an outside runner than in between the tackles guy. But basically, he's a good talent, and they need to keep him out of trouble with the cops.
All right, the source from 3 days ago says the Bengals first rounder Jackson tears pec. Bengals cornerback William Jackson III, the team's first-round pick in 2015, has a torn pectoral muscle and the season could be in jeopardy, a source confirmed to ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Yeah, this kid's a good player. They already have a good back end in Cincinnati with their corners and their safeties. What the advantage, if there is a silver lining in this, it's the fact that they can put him on this PUP list, physically unable to perform list, and there's one that you start off the training camp with, and they can come off of that PUP list on a specific date before the season starts. You have another one where it's 4 or 5 weeks in the season, and then you can also put him on IR with designated to return sometime down the road. So the NFL has done a great job with taking injuries into a factor rather than putting a guy on IR when he could probably come back in week 10 or 11, 12, not making him lose the whole season. So basically, now what's happening with the injuries, I guess if there is another positive spin on this, it's better to get injured early rather than later if there is time for you to come back and play. But basically, as a rookie, this would have been a redshirt year for him anyway. He would have had a chance to start, but basically now he can take his time, learn the defense, do more studying in the classroom with the defensive coordinator, and then if he should become healthy before that, it's just like completing a Pender. We'd be ready to go then. So basically, great talent, and unfortunately, when rookies get injured this early, it becomes a pattern. And a lot of these rookies that you see, once they get their first injuries will stay with them for the rest of their career. Hopefully, it's not with this guy. I know he's from what I hear, he's a decent kid, good player, and so the bottom line to answer your question is, you know, the fact that he could have some impact on the latter part of the season.
Well, it really wasn't a question. It was more of a statement, but sure. All right, report. Steelers cornerback Golson has Lisfranc injury. Steelers cornerback Senquez Golson suffered a Lisfranc injury at Monday's practice, according to NFL Network.
What is a Lisfranc?
No idea.
Is that like a... I don't know what a Lisfranc is.
Okay, let's see. Second consecutive year. Breaking of bones in the midfoot region.
Breaking of bones in the midfoot region.
Yeah.
He broke them?
Yeah, supposedly.
Okay, does it say the length of time?
No, like the whole year.
Oh, he's out for the year?
No, it doesn't say that yet.
Oh.
But it could be.
Okay, that would hurt him, because
Yeah.
he's, once again, another young talent.
All right, honey for Badger. Matthew gets big cards
5
deal.
years, 63 or something like that.
Tyrann Mathieu, defensive back, and the Arizona Cardinals have agreed on a
40
new
million.
5-year contract. Ravens waive running back Richardson, former number 3 pick.
Can I say something about the Honey Badger,
Sure.
Tyrann Mathieu?
Yeah.
He is he's an elite. He's a top 5-10 defender in the NFL. Okay, this guy really has turned around his life, and as much as we criticize all those people who don't, he's really turned it around his life. He got into some trouble in college, got kicked out of a couple, colleges. Basically, he's gotten sober. He's really changed his life, and he's really done a hell of a job for that Arizona defense. He is worth every single penny of that 5-year, $62 million, $40 million guaranteed. This guy is all over the place. He's fast. He's quick. He can cover. He can hit. This guy's going to be a special player for Arizona, and he's still very young.
Ravens waive running back Richardson, former number 3 pick. The Ravens have waived running back Trent Richardson. The former number 3 pick had been on his 4th team in 4 years.
He's terrible.
That's the guy with the Colts, right? That's the same guy,
He was
right?
with the Colts. He was drafted by the Browns.
Correct.
Okay.
And they traded him to the Colts.
The Colts gave up a lot to actually get him. If I can remember back, I think they gave up a second rounder or something like that. But this guy has just been garbage. I mean, he hasn't brought any value. He doesn't care. He is 2 yards in a cloud of dust. I know he always hits the buffet line though. I think he puts extra butter on his popcorn. But anyway, it's a disaster for this guy. I think maybe someone will pick him up because I don't even know if he has talent anymore, but he still can run the ball, I guess. But basically, this is the type of guy that's going to be a last case scenario for a team that maybe loses 1 or 2 or even 3 running backs.
Browns say tight end Barnidge is on track for Week 1. The Browns expect Gary Barnidge to be ready for Week 1 after the tight end had sports hernia surgery in June.
He's still got another month. Basically, Barnidge is a top 4 or 5 tight end in the NFL. This guy changes everything, especially as a red zone target. He was unbelievable last year in the red zone. Had 7-8 touchdowns, I believe, just right off the top of my head. So he needs to play 16 games, okay, for them to be relevant. But basically, he is the type of guy that needs to be playing. They can't. But at the same time, you don't want to force it and make an injury worse, kind of like what happened with LaShawn McCoy last year with his hamstring, and then they made it worse, and he wasn't full strength until week 10 or 11. So you got to kind of, be very cautious with something like that. But usually when the doctors say he should be cleared ready to play, then, knowing the football player themselves, if they're really competitive, they're going to want to play.
Wide receiver Jones joins Chargers. This just updated itself. This
Jacoby?
No. James Jones.
Oh, from Green Bay?
I believe so. Let me
Yeah.
see here. This thing is ridiculous. It's just updated out of nowhere, and it just threw me way off. Here we go. Wide receiver Jones joins Chargers after Johnson's injury. Wasting little time to bolster depth at receiver, the San Diego Chargers agreed to terms with veteran receiver James Jones on Tuesday.
Hey, big receiver, big target. Was very successful at Green Bay with Rodgers. I'm surprised he was on the street to begin with, where someone would pick him up. But basically, he's definitely going to improve that team and help San Diego.
All right, sources: McLean's positive test for purple drank. Cowboys linebacker Rolando McLean tested positive for purple drank, which resulted in a 10-game suspension from the NFL.
Purple drank?
That's what it's called. There's a lot of drugs in there and some craziness.
This guy is a nightmare. He went to Alabama. He's always been in trouble. I mean, now he's suspended for 10 games.
Falcons signed veteran defensive end Freeney to a one-year deal. The Atlanta Falcons signed veteran defensive end Dwight Freeney to a one-year contract, the team announced Tuesday.
Well, I think it's a big... he still has something left in the tank. Now, if you look back to what he did last year, I think he had 8 or 9 sacks with Arizona in spotty time, pass rush specialist. Now, the places that he's been most successful is when he rushes better off turf. This guy is a straight turf. He played on turf at Syracuse. With Paul Pasqualoni. He played on turf in Indy. Now he's playing on turf again. He played on turf in Arizona. Now he's playing on turf in Atlanta. So this guy is going to be a third down guy. Pin his ears back, try to get to the quarterback. But he still has another year, maybe 2 left in the tank. Can't do anything against the run. He's never going to drop into coverage. He just strictly gets to the quarterback.
Cowboys backup quarterback Moore breaks leg in practice. Cowboys backup quarterback Kellen Moore broke his right leg in Tuesday's practice. According to a source, he fractured the fibula and will need surgery.
Yeah, I heard Nick Foles being floated around as a possible backup.
Or making a trade for someone else to handle the backup quarterback position.
Because when you're a Cowboys fan, the most important position, even when Tony Romo's healthy, is the backup quarterback. Because the chance of Tony Romo playing 16 games without getting injured is very slim to none. So basically, you got to figure, last year they started off well. They were, I think, 3-1 in division or 3-1 overall. Romo goes down, and all they did was take one dog shit quarterback, whether it was Matt Castle to under the other guy down, whatever. They're all dog shit. And they felt it hard not having a legitimate second quarterback down there in Dallas, because they have the talent. They're going to have the talent on the offensive side of the ball, but if Romo's not there, then all that talent becomes irrelevant. So we'll see what happens.
Vic working out, hopes for one last chance. Michael Vick is working out, hoping for a shot with a team to have one last season in the NFL.
He'll probably get... he was with the Steelers last time, right? And he was just not effective. He was effective for a few games, but then... Bottom line is, this guy, he's finally matured, and he's close to 40 years old. That says a lot about the guy that he was growing up, the guy that was at Virginia Tech, the guy that he was with the Dogs and everything like that. Now he's hanging on for dear life to play in the NFL. His value is not, his value right now is, a third string quarterback, maybe second string, depending on, he'd be a backup quarterback maybe for the Giants because Eli never goes down. But you have a Michael Vick who does have a lot of experience, tutor guys in the NFL. But bottom line is, there's a reason why he's on the street, because no one needs him. But as camp goes on, people will go down and probably will get picked up. I don't know if he'll make a 53 roster, but I think if this is if he does get picked up, this will be his last year.
Let him play. Aaron Rodgers lobbies officials for more free play opportunities. Aaron Rodgers sees an insistence on calling unabated to the quarterback penalties, cutting into his drawing defenses offside and earning free plays.
I agree. It's just such a fine line that when the guy's unabated to the quarterback, everybody stops. Now, when everyone stops, it's just a guy and the quarterback, and it's they blow the whistle because it's just one-on-one. The guy's going to crush the quarterback. That's why they blow the whistle, for the safety of the quarterback. Now, if Aaron Rodgers wants to go out and say, if it's unevaded, let's just play, then he's going to take that risk of getting hit hard when the play doesn't count. So you got to kind of be careful what you wish for. Now, if it is put in, I think they'd have to go through the competition committee and all this, so it wouldn't just happen overnight. It'd be something that'd have to be cleared, because as you see, Aaron Rodgers with that hard count is very, very good at having guys jump off sides. And basically, a lot of his big plays are when they jump off sides and he has a free play and he can go down the field. But unevaded, the quarterback's a little bit different, because if the guy takes off unevaded, means he's got a clear shot. So if Rodgers wants to go down that road, he's going to have to feel the pain as well. So.
Okay, back to his adult self. Colin Kaepernick takes aim at reclaiming 49ers quarterback job. Colin Kaepernick has regained the weight he lost while recovering from injuries in 2015, a necessity as he tries to again become the 49ers starter.
The whole Colin Kaepernick, Trent Baalke, Chip Kelly thing, I think just based on talent and based on the fact you're paying this guy millions of dollars, you're going to have to start him. He still is a guy that, got a team to the NFC Championship and a Super Bowl. But basically, the bottom line is that they're going to have to work. Chip Kelly is a one-trick pony with his offense. So if it clicks with Kaepernick, and they can put in a lot of run plays and let the guy, because he's a gazelle when he's out in the running lanes. But he has a lot of trouble. He was exposed mainly becoming a pocket passer. All the defensive linemen were outside containing him, so he couldn't run, and they made him a pocket passer. The Niners more or less gave up on the run. So, third and long, second and long, they always found themselves in there. And Colin Kaepernick is not a pocket passer. He never will be a pocket passer. He's got a great arm, but, his effectiveness comes off his legs before his arm.
All right, now, when Trent Richardson got waived by the Ravens, Harbaugh defends him. Running back Trent Richardson, who was waived by the Ravens, is still on the team's radar, said Coach John Harbaugh. He's done nothing wrong.
Well, he's apparently not good enough to be on the roster, so I don't know what he's trying to say. I think he's trying to keep ties with him just in case, because I think that's more of a media outlet to talk to him directly, the player, because if you think he's really good, then why wouldn't you just keep him on your team? Why would you not get rid of him?
No fear. Steelers-Brown vows to be aggressive. Steelers receiver Antonio Brown, after suffering a concussion in last season's playoffs, vows to be even more aggressive this season. Vontaze Burfict.
Yep. Brown is, if not the best receiver in the NFL, it's him or the kid down in with the Falcons.
Julio Jones.
He's a beast. Look, if this guy's healthy, he's catching 130, 140 balls for X amount of touchdowns. Now, Pittsburgh, with Bell, being suspended again, and Roethlisberger, he's one hit away from being injured for 2 or 3 games at a time. In order for Brown to be effective, he needs Bell running hard, and he needs Roethlisberger healthy. But he's a man among boys.
Seahawks Browner won't face assault charges. Seattle Seahawks cornerback Brandon Browner will not face charges stemming from the alleged assault against his girlfriend's father in July. Is he back with the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right.
So I guess back with go by Pete Carroll's wing ding philosophy. I don't even know what happened, and did he beat up his?
No idea.
I don't know who would pick a fight with Brandon Browner. He'll go down in history, though, as one of the most effective. He never gets credit for it, but for that last interception, he made that whole play happen because he jammed the receiver, and when the pass was coming, it got tipped, and then Butler came in and took it.
Correct.
But Browner made that whole play. If the Browner was not in that play, was not affected, then the Pats would never won that game. So Browner is what he is. He's a physical guy. Obviously his father-in-law knows how physical he is. He probably laid him out. But basically, this is a type of guy who gets many pass interference calls because guys are just quicker than him when he tries to be physical and he misses, then he's in trouble. But definitely on the backside of his career, and I don't know. I guess he just needs to stop getting into fights.
Cowboys running back Elliott sidelined by sore hamstring. Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott will miss about a week after leaving Tuesday's practice with a sore hamstring.
Yeah, he's going to be. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott has all the potential to be one of the best running backs in the league. He's a beast. But like I said, those hamstring injuries, especially hamstring in training camp, those are the types that seem to just linger on forever. So when they say a week, it's probably going to be a little more than that.
Bears Cutler brushes off Bennett's criticism. Bears quarterback Jay Cutler brushed off negative comments made about him by former teammate and current Patriots tight end Martellus Bennett.
It's all that chatter between quarterback and it really doesn't mean anything. So basically, Bennett just needs to keep his mouth shut, and I'm sure he's had a talk with Bill Belichick about why even saying something so then the media can come to you about something that doesn't mean anything. So, what's next?
Bowman agrees to 4-year extension with 49ers. Linebacker Navarro Bowman, who led the NFL with 154 tackles in 2015, has reached an agreement on a 4-year contract extension with the 49ers.
This guy's a stud, and great guy. When I was out there, he was, I think, a second-round pick from Penn State. He worked so well with Patrick Willis. They were by far the best inside linebacking duo in the NFL. Bowman was coming off that, I think ACL, MCL. He tore just about everything that he could possibly tear. But he's an all-pro linebacker.
Chiefs to sign ex-Rams quarterback Foles, sources say. Nick Foles has landed with the Kansas City Chiefs after agreeing to terms in the contract, sources say. This
They saving money?
No, doesn't say.
Good move. I mean, Alex Smith is pretty durable at quarterback. But basically, Foles is the type of guy who has won 10 games in the NFL, who has gotten the team to the playoffs. So it's not like this guy's coming in with no success. He's actually, taking a team to the playoffs when he did with Philly with Chip Kelly.
Hall feeling good, excited to aid Giants secondary. The New York Giants signed veteran cornerback Leon Hall and waived Tremaine Jacobs.
Leon Hall. Okay, I remember this guy when he came out of Michigan. He was a good corner. He was with Cincinnati forever. He still has some stuff left in the tank. He's one of those veteran wide receivers now that he knows more of the tricks in the trade. He knows more about, getting into positions, giving receivers different looks when they're actually the type of defense they're going to play. So he definitely still has something in the tank, and I think he will be effective.
Jags Robinson pleads no contest for Carr in Pond. Jaguars running back Denard Robinson pleaded no contest to a careless driving charge stemming from an incident in which his car ended up in a retention pond.
God only knows how it got there. Probably wasn't even him driving it. It was probably his 8-year-old son or something like that.
Ravens third round pick Kafusi breaks ankle. The Baltimore Ravens had their most significant injury of training camp occur on yesterday, when third round pick Bronson Kafusi likely sustained a season-ending ankle injury.
I don't know enough about the situation.
Okay. Eagles, Peters, and Jenkins out with injuries. Eagles left tackle Jason Peters quadriceps and safety Malcolm Jenkins hamstring left practice early with injuries on Thursday.
That's like, let's see, in guaranteed money, that's like $70 million in guaranteed money that left the field the other day.
Bears, Jeffrey day-to-day with hammy injury. The Bears conceded that Alshon Jeffrey has a hamstring injury, not just muscle tightness in his day-to-day.
Yeah, hamstring injuries. Really what that means is if you had a hamstring injury last year and you have one already in the summer, means that A, you did not take care of your body, B, you did not do what was necessary to be healthy. C means that you're lazy, because these hamstrings, you have to be patient with them, and it takes time to work out a hamstring.
Falcons cut linebacker Green amid 4 assault allegations. Undrafted rookie linebacker Torrey Green, who was the reported subject of 4 separate sexual assault allegations, was waived by the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, this guy shouldn't even be playing on Sunday. He shouldn't have a job.
Ravens kicker believes field goal range is 84.5 yards. Ravens kicker Justin Tucker says he has a leg to kick it a very long way.
If this guy kicks an 84, if this guy this year kicks an 84-yard field goal, I will run up and down the street fucking naked.
All right, you heard it here first. Source, Bucs defensive end Johnson on IR with hip fracture. Defensive end George Johnson has been placed on season-ending injured reserve by the Buccaneers because of a hip fracture.
That sucks.
Donovan McNabb, Eagles quarterback moves are dumb. Former Eagles quarterback Donovan McNabb thinks Philadelphia made some poor business decisions regarding their quarterbacks this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy to come out and say. Hindsight's always 20/20. But dumb, let's talk about dumb. Let's talk about Donovan McNabb spelling his name wrong on the SATs. Donovan.
Okay, and I think this does it.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's good.
Book, yeah, well, it's not that it's good. I'm with you. I have 7 minutes to get to the bank here. Carroll boots Bennett out of Seahawks practice. Seahawks defensive end Michael Bennett was tossed out of practice after a skirmish with the offensive line.
You know, that
was an hour ago.
That stuff's going to happen. You know, it's more about safety for both the player and, so they don't start throwing helmets and guys getting hurt. So he likes that type of stuff. He likes mixing it up, but basically he threw him out to make a point, but more or less to keep everybody healthy, no stupid injuries.
All right, so this is just a preview of what's to come on the show. We will be going over news. We will be going over picks. We will be going over all that stuff. And if we talk about the NFL, it's McLovin. And Sunday, quick game. It's the first preseason game. Packers against the Colts in Indy. The line is Indy by 2.5. Who do you have?
I'll take the Packers. Plus the points.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Like I said, every Wednesday towards the end of summer, we will start. We will have guests on the show. We will going back and forth. And we will have a really cool setup to the show. Intro music, the whole deal. Okay, so thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. It's McLovin and Fantasy Football Wednesday.
See you guys.